Ms. Scanlon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Like the ranking member, I sort of had hoped that the House Republicans had abandoned the attempt to stir up a war on household appliances. But here we are, considering the Hands Off Our Home Appliances Act. For nearly 50 years, the Department of Energy has saved Americans hundreds of billions of dollars by setting prudent, energy-efficient appliance standards. Consumers like these standards. I look for these standards when I buy appliances for my house. Nobody's ever forced me to give up an appliance. They die of their own accord eventually. But knowing what I can expect from a new appliance because the government has established some standards is pretty important. And anyone concerned about the environment appreciates the fact that there's some standards by which we can judge the products that we are looking for. That helps our freedom to decide what we want to purchase and what we want to bring into our homes. But we're seeing that every time the Department of Energy sets a new standard, we get hysterics from House Republicans. The bill's sponsor says that the Biden administration is waging a war on everyday household appliances, which is ridiculous. We're talking about energy efficiency standards for new products coming out 5 or 10 years in the future. And the current proposed standards, once implemented, are projected to save households over $570 billion in reduced energy costs. And yet, Republicans are trying to persuade Americans that Big Brother's coming for your toaster. This is crazy. This is a waste of time for the government. It's a waste of time for Congress. It's a waste of taxpayer dollars. And as several people on both sides of the aisle have pointed out, we have much more important things that we should be attending to. So what's clear is that it is an election year, and people like to make speeches and say that they are protecting freedoms when it has nothing to do with that. There's no record for Republicans to run upon, as some of our colleagues on that side of the aisle have said. So what we're seeing is theatrics about liberty for laundry and freedom for refrigerators and gas stove wars, and it's all a lot of nonsense. And I really wish that we could get back to some regular order and actually doing the people's business here. Mr. Pallone, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I just want to say, kind of reiterate what you say, as the ranking member on the Energy and Commerce Committee, we deal with so many consumer issues, healthcare issues, energy issues, and I get very frustrated because I think that the American consumer expects the government, contrary to what Chairman Duncan said, to set standards, right? So, I get people come up to me and say, well, you're selling vitamins and I guess they're safe. And I'll say, well, to some extent, you have food safety. I assume that when I go to the grocery store that that's safe to eat. Well, yes and no, because if you start basically getting rid of standards, right? We're not going to review food safety. We're not going to review appliances. We're not going to review various consumer goods. Then people aren't going to feel safe and that they can actually go and buy these things and they're safe and healthy. And it's exactly what you said. They think that the standards are being set and this refrigerator is more efficient or this refrigerator or dishwasher is safe to use. And if we follow the philosophy that I hear from Chairman Duncan and some of the Republican members, they're like laissez-faire, sell whatever you want. Sell a medicine that's fake, sell food that's got botulism, sell a refrigerator that doesn't work, and that's okay. This is the market system. I don't know anybody who believes that. I mean, maybe there are some, but I think that the government, that people and consumers expect us to actually regulate things so that they're safe, they're efficient, they save money, and it's almost like they want to step in and say we either shouldn't have that or somehow Congress should decide on the regulation or every detail, which is not possible. So I just appreciate what you're saying. I don't think people want to operate in the world that the Republicans have just envisioned. That's not what people think as consumers. But I yield back.
Well, when we received this raft of bills, most of which have now been withdrawn, perhaps because their names were so ridiculous, I was really struck by the fact that, first of all, it was the same bill, just kind of cut and pasted multiple times. And it emphasized that there should not be an increased cost to consumers to purchase or replace or recycle or do whatever with these appliances. But what was striking was it left out of the calculation the savings that a consumer could get from having this energy efficient appliance. So it very firmly put its thumb on the scale for taking energy efficiency out of the equation, which, I mean, obviously, as we've all said, has been part of the equation, is certainly part of the equation for many consumers when they consider whether they're buying a new car or a new appliance or whatever, is how efficient it is. How much is it going to cost to run from day to day? And I think that's an important thing that the government can help people understand and decide. Thank you. I yield back.